Yeah, of course, I chose the wrong one here. Yeah. Welcome to the Senior Synth stream, the wrap-up from Superbooth. It was supposed to start very professionally, but it started as usual. So let's welcome the guests. Both are from down there in Berlin. I'm in Copenhagen. I wish I was there, but not this year. So welcome to first Michael Mudd.
Hello, everyone.
And welcome to Tim Dale.
Hi there.
Yeah. More will join sooner or later. Yeah. But let's start with Michael. How has your 3 days at Superbooth been? Just a wrap up, not detail.
Well, actually, it were 2 days for me because I attended Friday and today Saturday. So it was quite interesting and, of course, exhausting because spending the whole day and walking and looking and talking and so on. But in the end, yeah, it looked quite busy, and I think there were a lot of more exhibitors and visitors, at least today. I think at least it seemed that way because you were constantly basically running into people and queues around everywhere,
Yeah.
and it was fascinating. Of course, many were missing Moog.
Yeah,
For whatever
we
reason,
will get to all those details.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
First, it's a simple presentation. So who
Yeah.
are you, Michael?
Well, I'm Michael from Germany, and besides, I do have a regular day job, basically has to do with software engineering, and besides, I'm doing music, video production, and audio post and stuff along those lines. And so I'm pretty much engulfed in such areas as the music and sound design as well.
Yeah. And Tim, welcome to you too. Yeah, tell us a little bit like Michael did.
Yeah, so it's been a long 3 days, lots of walking, lots of talking. There's so many people to meet. It's having been at the show for so many years now. I know so many people. I just can't move without people wanting to stop and talk to me. It didn't help that 2 people wanted to stop and talk to me because they thought I was someone else. So that was a bit embarrassing, but never mind. And to put it in context of just sort of like how amazing this event is, I got off the train because there's a train that runs out to the site and then there's a short walk, and I got literally, as I stepped off the train, I almost bumped into Tom from Synth Anatomy and Michel Moog. So that's how the whole thing started. That was just the beginning of the first day. So it's been like that for all 3 days, and it's
yeah. And let's take this picture, and let's say hello to all the chatters. Oh, I have some candy in the mouth that keeps wanting to get out. But all the chatters, welcome to the stream. We have Tracker Jack and Steve Elbows. We have Patsy Brady and Kent Spong is there. Tim Dale is there. We know him. And Keith in
what am I doing over there?
Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah. And Matt Brown and yeah, that's about it at the moment. More will come and more guests will arrive. So, Tim, how has the weather been?
The first day there was rather chilly. People were saying people aren't being as friendly this year, and it's because no one wants to stop and chat because it's so cold outside. So I think most people hung around in the main building during the first day. But the other 2 days have been really a nice temperature. One of the problems with the building there is it doesn't have any air conditioning, so you actually don't want it to be too hot because otherwise it becomes unbearable inside. So yeah, so 2 days great. The first day, a bit chilly.
Yeah.
But at least, well, it was raining a little bit on the first day, but only just very light drizzle all day, so
that's okay.
on and off.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I remember in 24 when I was there, it was very hot on the first day. And then it got a little more cloudy the following days. But it was very hot and being outside, because there are a lot of bungalows and tents outside with stuff. So being outside was hot at that time. So it has been, as I understand it, a good temperature this year. So
You can blame the old East German authorities who decided not to actually bother putting air conditioning in the building.
Oh yeah. It was hot in there too in 24. I remember. Okay, Michael, what did you go for at Superbooth? What was it you wanted to see?
Basically with some of the typical suspects on my end are the various software vendors, such as Steinberg and Native Instruments and Synaptic, and to look if there's some news on their end which weren't really available beforehand in the details, and talk to some of them, and maybe get some on hand a demo of some new stuff, for example. So and besides that, I'm of course looking out for what's new on the synth front, and which new models, or maybe some already pre-existing ones I didn't have a chance to really get demo or test it out. And so that's basically the core part for me. And one large section or area is on that the Superbooth is the modular stuff. That's not one I'm really digging into at the moment, but I'm pretty interested in to see how that is developing, and what kind of crazy stuff people come up with on that end.
And you, Tim, what did you go for?
Oh, where do I start? So Henrik, you'll know this, but I normally go to Superbooth each year with a bit of a crowd of people, all of whom are sound designers. And one of the things we do at Superbooth and the other events is just to build the relationships with the various companies that we are either developing sounds for or trying to create relationships for developing sounds. So unfortunately the others couldn't make it this year due to between health and money reasons. But I still wanted to go and try and sustain that. And also, like Michael said, Superbooth when it started was mainly about modular. I now have a modular system, which I use as part of sound design work. So again, it's keeping up with what's current, what modules are useful. It's the one time of the year when you can just go to all the module manufacturers and literally talk to the actual people that make them, play with them, try them out, and there's nothing else quite like it for that. And also it's just meeting up with all the like-minded people every year, who just love this stuff. Yes, and of course just to see what's new synths are coming out as well, because that's the trouble. You as a sound designer, you're there to in some ways to do business and make money, but also you're being tempted all the time by new things, new toys that cost money. So it's always a bit of a dangerous minefield in some ways going to Superbooth.
It's a draw.
The only safety net is that you can't actually buy products at the event, so you can So obviously you can order straight afterwards, but at least it stops the impulse buying.
Yeah. Talking about new products, let's start with the new Modal Element One. Michael, did you check that out?
No, I didn't check that particular one out by myself.
Okay. Tim, you did?
I did. Do you have a picture of it to hand, or if not, I can bring one up?
No.
Hold on, see if I've. Hold on, see if I've got one to hand. I've lost the pictures. There we go. Right, 1 second.
While you find that, I
Yes,
could
I did.
play a little video because something happened at my work this Monday. So let's see here. So I'm at work and this is my room, my office. Ooh, who's that? Hey, what are you doing here?
Hey, Henrik.
Hi, Manny.
Hey.
Hey.
So I hear you need me to teach you how to upload digital media to the servers.
Yeah. Thanks.
You want me to FM that on the way in?
No, not
Not particularly.
I don't have that many operators. Oh, great to see you.
Great to see you.
Yeah, and you are. I thought you were on the way to Superbooth.
Yes, on the way to Superbooth.
Yeah.
Decided to spend a little time in Denmark and Copenhagen, and heading on off there in a couple of days.
Yeah. But I'm not going to Superbooth, but I'm glad to see you.
Hey, glad to get together, because I remember running into you at the bottom of the stairs the first year I came, which was 2024, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah. You caught me and it was Donna who played, as I remember.
Yeah.
At the
Moog booth.
Moog. I usually say Moog. Yeah. But welcome. Well, and have a nice tour for Superbooth.
Well, I plan on seeing a lot of people, seeing a lot of gear, and thank you so much for showing me around the studios.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that was at my work. I work at a national TV station here in Denmark, DR Radio Denmark, and I showed him all the studios, a news studio, and a huge studio where we used to have X Factor. Now it's another channel who has that and all that stuff. So it was nice to see Manny. And he went to Superbooth, so I hope he will turn up later. We talked about it, and if he can, he will. So back to Tim.
Yes, been great to spend a couple of days with Manny at the Superbooth. Right, hold on, I'm just going to try, hopefully I can do this, is present a picture. Just let me do it. Oh, that's not good. Oh, okay. Oh. Right. Sorry. Nothing is ever useful. Right, here we go. Right, here we go. Share screen. Can you see that? Can you see the picture?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, right. Yeah, if you can see it, yeah. So this is the okay, that's fine. If you can see the new Modal Element One. So this is, well, first thing is, someone pointed out, which I didn't even think of, just really great to have Modal still there now with us and making a new product. So that's an excellent thing. It was a shame when we thought we were going to lose them. But yeah, so they've made this new synth that is described as being designed for beginners to get into synthesis. So if you are familiar with the other modal synths, you can see it's got far fewer controls. So compared to the others, it actually has a lot of similarity to the sound of the Cobalt synth, but is rather cut down. So both in terms of size and controls, but is very well made. So it has the same kind of sound. So I love the sound of the Cobalt, so it just sounds great. But it's obviously it's designed as a cheaper entry synth in their range.
Yeah, I like the idea that it's cheaper because it sounds mostly the same as the big ones. And the big ones, one thing I am a little annoyed about is the mod matrix. There are not many mods slots, so there are many destinations and sources, but is it 8 you're limited to, and then that you can't change? I think it's like that. Oh, you don't know, Tim?
I don't know, no. So
Okay,
I
waited for some
sorry,
response.
sorry, sorry, I can't see you at the moment. All I can see is the picture. So, I don't know, because although I've played them at the shows, I haven't actually used one in anger. So the only slight oddity which annoyed me about this Element One, and I don't know if I have a feeling that they might be still fixing things in the software. But if you are playing while stepping through the patches, when you change a patch, the notes you play for in the next second and a half still sound using the previous patch, and then it suddenly switches over. So it is a little weird in terms of that. But there's also a few glitches on the screen as well. So I'm wondering if they are still working on the or trying to fix things with the firmware. But the actual
could be, but it's already for sale at some places I've seen.
Yeah. So on the other hand, though, it could just be that they've got the model that they've hauled around the shows has seen better days.
Yeah.
But as people said, it's a nice surprise because coming up to Superbooth, there was very little information coming out about any new products. So this was nice to have a brand new synth at the show. So
That's pretty rare nowadays on any fair or exhibit to have something actually new which hasn't been published before.
Yes, because people were getting worried when we got down to a few days before and there was no mention of new stuff. So we were getting worried that it was going to be a show of no releases, but that wasn't the case. So.
Okay. Did any? Let's continue with the next. Did any of you see the new Korg thing? The synthesizer.
Yeah, hold on. I should have that one as well because that's. I think that's the first image I've got here.
Yeah. You don't have to remove your shared picture each time. You can just use the same window.
Well, yeah, just no, not. Yeah, it's trying to try again. Right. Yes. So we had the three big manufacturers there, Korg, Yamaha and Roland. In fact, it was really nice to have Roland back at the show again because this is actually the first time that Roland have been at the show since 2019. So they haven't been back since COVID, so it was really nice to have them back. But Korg was a very interesting stand this year because they had no playable keyboards on the stand.
Exactly, yeah.
Pardon?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. But they did have this, and it's a prototype, and it's on, and it was plugged in. You can see because it's lit up, but it was wrapped in plastic.
But they did have two stands, one in the fore hall, and another place.
Yeah, they did. They had one out in
Yeah.
the woods, but the one in the woods
Yeah.
is the Korg Berlin site. So it had things like the Phase 8, the new NTS4 mixer, which is a small mixer in the NTS range, and things like that. So it wasn't their main range out in the woods. So this was their main stand, but this was the only synthesizer on it, and you couldn't play it. And they weren't telling anyone what it actually is.
Oh, but
So-
they got the
so-
LEDs working.
They got the LEDs working, yes. And unfortunately, the still photo doesn't do it justice because there were a lot of LEDs on this thing. So there's a lot of blue. Yes, so there was some. So of course, one of the main talking points of the show was people trying to guess what this is. I'm pretty sure I do know what it is, but I'm not allowed to say. The only slight problem is that some of the people's guesses were so over the top that those people are going to be disappointed, I think. But
Yeah. I have some ideas too.
yeah.
So didn't you look close or?
Even yeah, I mean, you can't read any of the labels of the knobs and things. So all you could see was the fact that it had knobs and it had LEDs, no matter how close you got to it. So without actually physically touching it and trying to push the plastic back, which they had someone on guard all the time, so you couldn't do that. That was all we could get. So no one was getting any answers by looking at it. But to put it in context, though, at least Korg did have a new synth at the show, technically, even if we couldn't play it, whereas the other two big manufacturers, Yamaha and Roland, didn't. So can't complain too much at Korg for that. But this is not due for release until near the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I think so it could be as late as December. So don't hold your breath on this one yet.
No. But everybody knew that Korg was working on something new.
Oh, they're always
Even
they're
Dan-
always
Dan
working.
has said so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 So
yes. Well, because of the sort of people we know, we actually know people that are working on this stuff. So
yeah. So was there anything else which was new?
few. I mean, did you want me to step through photos or?
Oh yes. But
yeah,
but let's take a product at the time and talk a little about the product.
Yeah. Well, basically, if I step through the photos and then if we get to a product we can talk about.
Yeah.
So what I've done, I haven't put pictures on here of people because without permission, etc. So this is just basically pictures of gear, and I've tried to put the most interesting and exciting things up here. So this is obviously another big new release. This is a standalone desktop Buchla synth.
Yeah.
And this is great fun. So I had a play with this. If anybody knows the Fez building is actually it's an interesting building. It's actually one of its main purposes is a youth centre. So it has a swimming pool, it has play areas, but it also has an education centre to teach young people about space travel. So it's all stuff like equipment used to train astronauts and mock-ups of space capsules and things. And Buchla had actually set up inside all this space station mock-up. So it was very high tech. But anyway, so this thing can work standalone. But you can see at the top there it does have inputs for gate and CV, so you can actually link to other like modular gear, etc. It does actually have MIDI as well, so it can be used with a more traditional synth setup, and actually has USB at the top. You can see which actually has can actually do MIDI over USB as well. So for linking to computer setup. So there's a lot of possibilities of this. So it has you can see it has very few patch points. So all the modulation is done internally, so it's a bit different for Buchla, but it is. I think it's, again, this is designed to make West Coast synthesis more accessible to the average man on the street. So compared to, I mean, I can't make head or tail of an easel, and the only West Coast thing I've got is a West Pest by Create Audio, but this is actually doesn't take too long to get your head around what it's actually doing, and is capable of some very interesting sounds. So from a sound design point of view, this is a dream, and it's going to be, I believe, 999 euros dollars, so is comparatively cheap compared to normal Buchla stuff.
Yeah, but to some people it's, as usual, for Buchla, too expensive for them.
Yeah.
I don't think it's in the low end. But
well, you know, given that, you know, an easel is what, 2,500 at least. I think it starts at that point, goes up, and if you start buying Buchla modules, they rack up very quickly. So this is far cheaper than that, and this is, you know, this is essentially a complete synth. So.
Yeah. Okay. So
anything else on that one, or?
Only the room. I remember in 24 I looked in, it was locked, so we couldn't get into that space school, and I was so jealous. It looked so fantastic from the outside, with a capsule from a lunar lander or some. No, not a lunar lander.
It's supposed to be the International Space Station, I think. Yeah. So, yes.
It was very
fascinating place. Yeah, they've got like a statue of Yuri Gagarin and things like that. And, yes, it's very much a relic of the East German system. Unfortunately, they did have a few problems with the power in there, and someone plugged something in, and all the other power in there went off. So suddenly we were all trying to use this, and suddenly they all turned off.
Yeah, that's a continuation of the East European style.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, let's continue with the next one.
Okay, let's see what else we've got. Oh yes, this is the new one. So Nonlinear Labs, who make the C15, which some people might be familiar with, which is a synthesizer, I'm going to say like no other really. For those who are not familiar with the C15, it's to all intents and purposes, where someone described it as an FM synthesizer on steroids, and is designed to be a performance synthesizer, and confuses some people because things like it doesn't have MIDI. Well, anyway, they've made a quote cut down version of it that's going to be considerably cheaper, but warning that cheaper does not mean cheap. This is still going to be an awful lot of money, but yeah, so it is a very interesting, and I had a play on this, and the tonal quality of the sound is absolutely awesome. And Manny, who we were discussing earlier, is created some of the patches for the C15, which have then been ported over onto this. So it's awesome synth, but as I say, is not going to be cheap.
Oh.
Yeah, well, four figures. They think probably beginning with a 3. So
okay, not a thing I will buy, I guess.
No, but it is. But it does sound very nice. Although the styling seems to have been done by Hammond, but apart from that,
okay. Yes. Did you play it?
I did play it. So the tonal quality of the sound is absolutely incredible. It does. Every patch just sounds. Oh, did you have a go, Michael?
Yeah.
Did it? Yeah.
Gave it a try as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Any comments, or what do you think?
Yeah, basically what you said, it's a very, very sophisticated quality of sound and of the patches, and the handling feels very superb regarding the manual and all the haptic of the elements.
Yeah.
Besides the sound as well, so it's a great piece of gear, I guess, but of course expensive.
But I suspect like its bigger brother, it's designed primarily for performance rather than anything else.
I guess so. Yeah.
but yeah, not as interesting to look at, I don't think, as a C15, but it's but very nice anyway. So next, what have we got? Oop. Oh yes, right. This is my personal favourite thing of the show. Some of you may have heard of the Schmidt synthesizer, which is famous for being one of the most expensive synthesizers in the world. So to buy one costs, current price, €25,000 or dollars. Yeah, not cheap. And they have only sold over. It's been going for absolutely 15 years or something, and they've only sold something like 130 of them in total. But anyway, suddenly we got out of the blue this announcement that they'd partnered with the company UJAM and had actually they're making a software version which is due out in a couple of months' time. So a complete software recreation of the Schmidt synthesizer that will be released for $299, which is not cheap for a VST, but is considerably cheaper than 25,000. And I think of all the, if I had to, if I was listing my favourite synths of all time just by their amazing sound, I would say my top two are probably the Andromeda A6 and the Schmidt. So this is an awesome synth, and not something I thought I'd ever be able to own, but potentially I can.
Yeah. Also in the class.
Yes. Slight. Sorry, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
Yeah. You may notice also that the slight problem is it's a very wide keyboard, and they've reproduced it perfectly across the screen, which means if you don't have a very wide monitor, you have to scroll left and right. So not ideal, but right. As the modal we've already discussed. This isn't new this year, but if you haven't checked out the Crick by Future Sound Systems, Finley Shakespeare's company, which is at all the shows, and it is just an awesome sounding synth. But some people had complained that because it normally is available in blue, and some people had complained they didn't like the blue, so they did a special edition black one, and now they've done a special edition white version. But at the moment, they are having trouble keeping up with the orders because it is being so popular. Even though, again, not cheap, but it's again amazing synth.
Yeah, I've played a bit with the VSTs from Exils, and this reminds me a bit of that. Just larger.
Yeah. What else we got? Oh yeah, this is finally out. This has been teased at a number of shows, and this is. Hold on. I did have the names of all the companies here, and I've all got muddled up. But this is the Embody, it's called, and it's a touch panel designed for control, and it comes with software so that you can actually map for each sort of patch, that you're linking to in whatever application. You can sort of map in your DAW what set of controls you want to see on the screen. So you could have a virtual keyboard, or you could have a more like Go Shred style layout of notes. You can choose whatever layout you want. You could have multiple controls on the screen. So you could have like a 1 octave range from C to C, plus you could also have some sliders, plus some toggle buttons, so you can put whatever you want. And for performing live, it is a very visual and great fun to do as well. So I had to go with this. It's and the fact that you can literally configure the panel as you want on a per patch basis. It's great. And they even comes with a stand so that you can play it with it angled slightly towards the audience, so the audience can actually see you play it, which is potentially more interesting than watching someone play keyboards.
Right. Okay.
So one for the performers. This was UDO. They had a, rather than a bungalow as they normally do, a wooden bungalow. They built a geodesic dome. So as you do. So, and they were showing off the Domino this year. Sorry, I don't have a photo of the Domino. Anyway, which is an awesome synth as well. It's another amazing synth. But this is when I last saw the Domino, which was at Machina Bristonica last October. It only had like 8 presets done, but now it's got a full set of presets in there, and it's sounding amazing. They've done a really good job on that. So if you like the UDO synths, check that one out, 'cause it's a bit different to the others. Yeah, as I said, Roland are back, which was nice. They're actually out in the woods, as you can see. So for those not familiar with Superbooth, it's when COVID hit, they extended the whole thing, rather than being all crammed in one building, out to all these various huts and tents and things throughout the woods as well. So it's a lot of walking, but means there's always plenty of space. It's not like some exhibitions where you literally just crammed in and can hardly move. But yeah, so great to see Roland. So in terms of what Roland was showing, they had they had their sort of normal stuff on there. Like I think keyboard wise, they had the Juno X and they had the Gaia 2, and they had the all their boutique range as well. And they also had, of course, the TR1000, which I think, the photo of which I think is a bit later in the set. So they had some of those to try out, and also they had this.
Before you continue, let's welcome the new guests.
Aha!
Hey.
Hi, Ken.
I am. I'm walking through the streets of Berlin at the moment, and I wanted to stop in and say hello.
Nice to see you.
I am very full. I have eaten ice cream.
Yeah. Did we lose the sound?
No, I hear you. What is all that?
Okay, we hear you again now. So.
Yeah, I hear a lot of background noise.
Yeah, that's from Tim.
Apologies.
Get his act together.
I know.
Mute yourself, Tim, while that's over.
Yeah, okay, 1 second. If I can get back to my StreamYard.
I'll start muting him, then he can do it and mute himself later. Yes, okay. How was your Superbooth, Ken?
Very, very busy. So Leviathan has really kind of just now gotten to Europe, to European distributors. So not many people have had a chance to really use Leviathan in person. And there's still a lot of misconceptions about what it is. So there's a lot of education and a lot of explaining what the synthesis is inside of it. A lot of people still think that it's FM. So I have to kind of rearrange people's brains a bit. But it's been really cool. I really love it here in Berlin. I love getting to do Superbooth because it's really busy, but it also gives you a really good chance to sit and talk with people, and it's a more laid back atmosphere than NAMM is. So got to see a lot of cool technology. There was a guy walking around who is a haptic specialist and does some really interesting things with knobs. They are the same knobs that are used on the C25 by Nonlinear Labs. So I talked with him a bit about the technology in those knobs and what's potential with them. That was probably one of the coolest things that I saw. Sounds to me like there's some things that could potentially happen with that product that we have not yet seen, mainly because they were trying to get the product ready for demonstration. Just a lot of cool stuff. I saw a few products that I've been aware of for a couple of years in development that are still being developed, Um, the Shear Technologies or Shear Electronics, Oberheim looking thing.
Yeah, the
That was
relic.
there.
Yeah.
Milton Audio has their Oberheim 4-voice. It's kind of wild to see people still trying to recreate that old Oberheim sound. That really, I mean, that filter is like one of the easiest, most basic filter designs there is. But there's still such a desire for that. Yeah, it was a good time though.
Nice. So you are on the way to a club now?
Well, well, I told myself I would go to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be accurate or not. We're going to find out. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens when I get there.
Yeah.
I've been invited out to another party, and we'll see what happens. Maybe I sleep and then I go to a party. I don't know.
No.
Last night was, of course, saw Richie Houghton at Club Tressor, which is always an event, and got to hang out with some fun people in a club setting like that. Hung with Mylar Melodies for quite a while at the club, and we had a really good time.
Yeah. How do you like Berlin?
I love it. It's very. It actually feels very East Coast, so it feels kind of similar to like Philadelphia, which is the area that I'm from. Like a lot of the green aspects of it. It's not like LA. LA is very dry and bright, and Berlin is very green and um, old. So it's a beautiful city, and the people are very interesting town. Very artistic. So, and it's not just because of the synth event. It's there. There's a lot of music and technology in this city in general. So
Yeah.
it's really inspiring when you come out here.
Yeah. It's always been a center for the alternate scene and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, did you have all the team with you from
So we
ASM?
had it was myself, Daniel Troberg, who is our head of sales. Uh, Randy was with us, which that was pretty fantastic that he was able to be out here as well. And Randy handles our beta testing and manuals. So that big heavy manual that you get with your Leviathan, that if you drop it on your toe will shatter your toe, is Randy's fault. Uh, and then Dominic L is here as well. And Dominic is our director of product and is pretty awesome to be around. He always has great insight. So the whole team gets along really well. So it's always fun.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
we going the right way?
I can't say.
Oh boy, I'm walking into a back alley.
Yeah. Everything can happen in Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. I actually feel safer in Berlin than I did when I was in Toronto. To be honest with you.
Yeah. I think you're right about that.
So I was in Toronto about 2 weeks ago for a synth expo there, and that's really great. There are a lot of great small guitar pedal companies there. So and that whole the small guitar pedal scene stuff is always really interesting because it's very similar to like the Eurorack community. Lots of smaller circuits with like strange ideas and quirky designs. I always like that stuff.
Yeah. Um, What did you see at Superbooth besides being in your booth?
Oh, so I went and checked out the Oxy booth because I'm a big
Yeah,
fan of the Oxy One sequencer.
yeah,
So that was good to see the update. There's a lot going on in that update. I can't even cover that. I mean, they're just constantly doing new stuff. I keep begging them for polyphonic aftertouch support. I don't think that that's necessarily going to happen, but Oxy One is still amazing. Board Brain had their mixer there, which is in its actual completed form, and it is a very cool mixer. Um, what else? What was I did walk up and look at that Korg synthesizer that was under the wrapping,
yeah.
and I
Did
can
you
tell you
unwrap
what
it?
I can tell you what I could see through the wrapping, like what I
Yeah,
recognize. And what I recognize is the switches look like switches from a Prologue.
yeah,
The buttons at the bottom look like buttons from like an Op 6 or a Mod Wave or something to that effect. The screen in the center look like the screen on a micro Korg, the new micro Korgs. And then to the top right, you could see the compressor from the Prologue. Prologue 16 has like a analog compressor on it, and yeah, I could definitely tell that that's what that was. Um, the knob array makes me think possibly maybe a digital analog hybrid, maybe just digital, but yeah, it looked interesting. I assume it's going to have something to do with NTS and maybe Sign Vibes or something like that, which I love Artemy from Sign Vibes. Great guy. So I look forward to good things from that. I like the Korg guys a lot.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
other than that,
It,
I spent a lot of time at the booth,
yeah.
doing my job.
Was I don't know if Gerd was there from Erica. Did you meet him?
Yeah. I definitely visited with Gertz, and
Yeah,
that was that's always good. Like he's such a good people.
yeah,
I checked out the Bullfrog and the Bullfrog mixer,
yeah,
Bullfrog drums, and I like frogs, so that's good.
yeah.
I have frogs. I don't know if you know that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You have a lot of interesting animals.
I've got some poison dart frogs. So
Yeah, yeah.
uh, what else? I checked out the stuff from Shackmat Modular. Their stuff is very good.
Yeah.
That and Bafako had some cool stuff too. So yeah, I did kind of like move around a little. Oh, one of my favorite things. I'll tell you this. This is a little story for you. Um, so uh, if you know who Dataline is, Mr. Dataline, he often did the demos for Electron Gear.
Mm,
Like Digitone and Digitact and all that stuff.
yeah.
Well, he's not with Electron anymore. He's with another company. I won't get into all of that. But he also has his own company called Pink Parrot, and
Mm,
he is a vintage gaming enthusiast and has been creating games on Amiga, right? And he did a game a little while back called Callback, which is like Arkanoid,
yeah.
but the chip is the handle to the model cycles that got recalled, and like the bosses are executives of a certain company. So it's pretty funny. Well, he
Mm,
just released a new sequencer done in Amiga,
yeah.
and it is very cool, and it's called Quad Track.
Mm,
So he was showcasing that in the same room as Yamaha and Electron and some other people. So that
yeah.
was a very funny thing to see. And so Cenk is a really fun guy, and the that sequencer is crazy too. So, and it runs on Amiga and runs in Amiga emulators. So it's done in a video game engine called Scorpion. So very cool.
Interesting. I've also heard that the Amiga will get revival soon.
Well, I know that Commodore is basically fully revived again.
Yeah. But so far it's only the 64 in different versions.
Yes.
Yeah. But things will happen. That's for sure.
Yep. Well, listen, guys, I just wanted to pop in real quick and say hi.
Yeah,
because I
it was
told you
good to see
that I
you.
would call you if I could.
Yeah.
And luckily, I had some signal while I'm walking back to the hotel here, and I'm going to see whether or not I get a second wind, and if Daniel Troberg will make me party into my grave. That man has more energy than anybody I know. So we shall see. But I feel very, very full from that. I had a wonderful Italian dinner here. So
yeah, great. Good to see you, Ken. So enjoy Berlin and see you another time.
I hope I'm gonna be checking through and seeing. I'll watch the feed later to see what people's favorites were from the show and what interests them. So that'll be good to know.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, see you
All right,
next time.
take care.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Okay, Tim, then you can continue.
Yeah.
You have to, yeah.
Yeah. Can you still see my share, or has it disappeared? There it is. Yeah. Before we move on to this, I suppose I don't think I've actually got pictures of the Leviathan synth, but yeah, that was there and sounding awesome as well. So people loving that. So So Roland, in addition to their normal Roland stand, they also had the Roland Future Design Lab, which is their R&D department from Japan, and they brought along a couple of things they're working on, and the really interesting one, if it'll let me do it, is this. So this isn't a product that's about to come out. This is just something that they're trying, but I think it has some interesting potential. So you can see it's actually in a foot pedal design. I don't know why they've done this as a foot pedal. This could be used for other things, but what this does is it takes an audio input and then resynthesizes that audio input according to a number of models that it's got built into it. And so the example they gave me is they plugged a drum machine into it and were feeding like a regular drum pattern into it, and then one of the models in there is taiko drums, the big Japanese drums, and it was changing the normal drum beat into taiko drums. And then you've got a mix knob at the end here, so you could actually mix the original signal with the created one. And then they switched to doing a hang drum, and then but it's not just percussion. It's got some 8 models in there at the moment, and they're working on more. So whether this product ends up being created, who knows? But I suspect this technology may find its way into other things as well, because it's a bit like physical modelling, but it's somewhere between physical modelling and resynthesis. So it sounded great. It sounded very convincing. So
it's right there. I have to find out the windows here. It doesn't really act like I want it to. So
what's that? Sorry.
The windows here have different inputs, your window and your chat window.
Is it not showing up properly?
After I had Ken on, I changed away from the default view I had before, and I can't find it again. So
let me know if I need to stop and reshare again.
No.
Okay.
I'll just maximize the chat window. So just continue.
Yeah, the other new thing they were showing wasn't anywhere near as interesting, as it was about a sound finding help for the Roland Cloud. and Zen Core Plus, so that if you and what it would actually allow you to do is take your MIDI phrase that you'd created in your DAW or whatever, and if you weren't happy with the sound, you could get it to, and it would actually suggest other sounds within the Zen Core engine that would work with that MIDI phrase. So it's how, I mean, it's only useful when you've got something like Zen Core engine, which has got some ridiculous number of thousand sounds in it. So yeah, so that's what they're working on.
Yeah. By the way, the chat is talking about your ventilator. Well, we can't do much about it. It's
Well,
how
I mean,
it is.
It's yes, in this room it's a tiny gentle hiss.
Yeah,
So-
but it's
so
probably
not quite-
sitting
not
next
quite-
to the microphone.
Well, no, because it's in the same laptop.
Yeah.
It's inside the same laptop. So
But I think the noise changes sometimes, so I don't know if it's when it blows across something that it's
well, no,
loud.
because the microphone's at the front and the fan's at the edge, blowing outwards. So not quite sure why it's so loud.
Try to lift it for a second.
What, the whole thing?
Yeah. If you can put it on something, then it will be much.
Hold on, I will find something soft to put it on.
Yeah. So I think the vent is blowing at something which makes it louder.
How's that?
It's good. It's good.
Okay. So now it's that angle. Yes, you're now resting on a Yuhi t-shirt.
Yeah.
Mention that one as well. So Yuhi, obviously, are now showing the released version of Zebra 3. Spent some time with them. That was great fun. And
Yeah. They are
playing
always
with that.
great
Yes, and,
people.
and so Howard was there, and
Howard
yeah.
will try to get on if he gets the time, but
yeah,
Urs don't like to be on. So if he is with Urs right now, then he will probably
Yeah.
not get on.
yeah, and he's had obviously, yeah, he's had three full-on days as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, but no, it was really good. Zebra sounding excellent. But let's see what else we've got. I should have made a note of this. Yeah, so that's the it's the TR1000. So not a very good photo of it, but I couldn't get a photo when no one else was using it. So right, yeah, this is the now I've got to remember which one this is. So it's Frap Audio, not Frap Tools, Magnolia. When this was first shown at Superbooth last year, it was a prototype and had no patches, and they've now created the patches, and I had to go with this, and it is a lovely sounding synth and really nice to play as well. So it's
I love the design.
it is great design, and it's a little bit odd because some things aren't together that you'd expect to be together on the panel. So it is a slightly unusual layout, but it's but it is lovely sounding, lovely to play. So, but again, not a cheap synth because this is something that is in very limited, numbers. I suspect so.
Yeah.
But I suspect for those that can afford it, it will be quite popular.
Yeah. Before you continue, Robbie wrote me he's out with Michelle, so they can't join us right now.
Yeah.
So we will probably not see him today.
Okay.
Just continue.
Okay. Let's see what else we've got. Anyone wants to chime in? Feel free. Yeah. This. Yeah. This is awesome. This is. It's a product. I've got to remember, get the name of this right. It's the Spotty Catcher. Spotty Catcher. So it's basically a sample mangler. So the idea is you can sample sounds into it either from into external input or from the inbuilt microphone, and sort of loop, mangle, reverse, basically. And you can do things like you can play this, have the sample playing on a loop, but then you can select part of it, which you can then reverse, speed up, add to the original, all sorts of things like that. And it's you can get some fairly mind-bending results fairly quickly. But it is, as I suspect, it's more going to be for performance and sound design than making the next pop hit. But it is a great. It's one of those things that's just great fun to use. I didn't actually. I only got to watch it being used. I didn't get to play it, but it's. They did actually have some set up in like sort of little stations through the woods where they had little shelves attached to trees with one of these on, and then a microphone above your head so that you could actually speak or make noises into it and loop them. So it's interesting device.
Yeah, looks like it. And something.
Yeah.
From what you said.
Yeah. Oop. Okay. Right. This is not new this year, but the Maya synth now has a lot more patches in it, which sounds considerably better than the original set of patches I had in there. It's a great synth. We a number of us, when we first heard the Maya synth a few years ago now, when we first started going to Superbooth, just immediately recognised just how powerful a machine this is, and have been supporting Maya ever since. In this, so hope to be doing some work with them. We'll see how we go.
I like this design and the wooden sides and all that.
Yeah, because if you know anything about the Maya synth, the original one they built was far bigger and had far more controls on it. But I like the simple design. It reminds me of when I was educated with electronics. I worked in some sound laboratories where we had big auditories with tape machines that played for every student in the auditorium. Yeah, it reminds me of that. The original they could no longer build when things like the chip shortages hit, so they had to redesign it, and the redesign is a much smaller template. But it has some interesting features, like it has a web service host built into it, so that you can actually connect a PC to it and connect in on a web from a web browser, and actually sort of run the applications through the web browser, which is much easier on a big screen than it is on the touch screen, because it's got things like clip launching and almost some door-like capabilities. So it's a very, very capable machine. Right.
Before we continue, each time if someone pops on, then when you go to the next, pause there.
I've because at the moment I can only see the picture I'm talking about at the moment. So because the way it's working here. So if anybody.
So then wait, because Andy has just joined us.
Okay.
So welcome,
Hello.
Andy.
How you doing?
Hello.
Sorry, I was napping, so just got the info now.
Yeah, you look like you just.
I look like it.
Yeah.
Like shit, right? Yeah.
But it's a look, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's bedhead.
Yeah. Welcome. Have you followed? I don't know if you were on Rancy's earlier today.
I was. That's why I took a nap.
Okay. I guess you talked about Superbooth. I don't know.
He just had like a smattering of stuff. He didn't want to do like crazy amount of coverage because of interest and the fact that a lot of people are covering the usual stuff.
Yeah.
He just took out special things, and a lot of it was news to me because I haven't had a chance to follow much of Superbooth. So
you just arrived from Hawaii, I guess.
Yeah, I'm partly just tuning in to see what you guys are talking about and maybe learn some stuff I haven't seen yet.
Yeah. Okay, then let's continue with Tim.
Okay, Andy, have you when you've been to NAP in the last few years, haven't you? So yeah. So have you met this one, the Sheer Electronics Relic, which is the Oberheim recreation?
Oh, is it Brashears, whatever? Jacob Brashears, I think his name is.
Yeah.
He wasn't there last year or this year. He was there last year, I think, and then he was there like a couple years. He's had these gaps. I don't think he's there every year, but I didn't see him there this year for sure. So I don't know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he was here. He was here at Superbooth though.
Okay.
So for those not familiar with this guy, kid, everyone says, this very young man. I started this project when he was a teenager to basically build his own Oberheim. So it's some people describe it as an OBX, some people as an expander, but it isn't quite either. It takes features of both and expands on both of them. and it is now technically finished and working. Wow. So so he was there, and
how was it?
It is awesome. Although the only trouble is the one I was playing with there, because they had two on the stand, and the one I was playing with, something went wrong on it, and I only had 3 presets available to me. So I didn't get a chance to play on the other one. Oh, have you just? Can you still see that the image?
Nope.
I can.
Oh, there it is. So he was there, and I don't know if you can see above the actual unit there is the motherboard, and if you can see that circuitry, that the circuit board is a work of art.
Wow! Yeah, look at that.
It is astonishing. The what you've got there. The component size is tiny, and each you can see, because that's the 8 soundboards you can see there on the right hand side, and they are, compared to the size of the original OBX soundboards, they are tiny, and they are beautiful. And it's got a very unusual thing actually, because it was kind of weird, because it had this young man was there presenting, and with him 2 young ladies from Taiwan. Because on the actual top of the synth, you can't see it really on the photo, but top right, the text at the top right of the front panel says, "Designed in Silicon Valley, assembled in Taiwan." And I've never seen that sort of thing on the front of a synth before. So yeah.
Well, Apple started doing that with their stuff, designed in Cupertino, but obviously made elsewhere, right? So
yeah, so it's a little bit unusual, but and this is apparently not going to be cheap. I think they're quoting something like 14,000. But
I think it's an upgrade having the ladies there, because usually his mom was with him. So
yes. No, now she may have been hiding off to the side to check that these young ladies didn't misbehave with her son, but I couldn't see her anywhere. But no, it just seemed to be him and the 2 young ladies. It's interesting. I mean, I'm all in favour of someone being willing to stick with this idea they have and been taking it through to a full production of something, and up to the point where it can be shown at shows like NAMM and Superbooth, and it is a beautiful thing. But not sure how many they're going to sell, but it is. Someone did point out, though, of course, that if it is, because functionality is on the way to that of an expander, that it is actually half the price of a second-hand expander. So, bargain apparently. Oh yes, on the subject of which I mentioned earlier, the Schmidt, and they, in addition to the software version, they also had a show special on the price of the actual Schmidt hardware synthesizer at the show. And instead of being its normal $25,000, it was $16,000. So that is a really big reduction for a show price. That's
still a crazy amount.
Unfortunately, I still didn't have £16,000 in my pocket. But
yeah. Did you already talk about the Korg thing that's covered up?
Yes, yeah, we just got we had to discuss that. Yeah,
Korg always has some tricks up their sleeves. So.
Yeah, did you have any opinions on it?
I didn't get a good look at it, but I had brought up on Ramsey's show. They had that thing in a glass case back when they revealed the 2600 version, and it was like a hint at either a larger FM style synth or a wave state, like a fancy one, So they're always doing some little gameplay and trickery stuff,
I don't know if hang on, Andy, for a second. Yeah, you have a hum.
I know, that's why I keep muting.
Okay.
It's just fucking headset. I gotta get another one. This isn't ground properly. If I touch my face or touch the mic, it generally stops. But it is what it is. So
yeah.
Andy, I did say at the beginning though, when we showed the picture for that some of the people at Superbooth were taking some quite fanciful guesses at what it might be, and I suspect some of those people are going to be disappointed. So right. A sec. Right. That's that one. This is Polyent have made a drum machine. I did actually congratulate Korg a few years ago when they brought out the drum logs that they'd managed to make the least colourful drum machine in the history of mankind, and Polyend have seemed to try and outdo it. But they did point out that they also do make it in silver as well as black. So, but it did sound good. So,
I have the drum log. If you haven't used it for a year and get back to it, it's hard to start to use again.
Yeah, it wasn't that appealing to me. There was too many things buried in menus and far too little control over stuff because they made it so small. And you would think they would learn from like the Electribe 2 by putting things in menus and making things harder to get at, whereas you can put the Electribe EMX, which is an amazing box. So
okay, and then we've got the you see that the Waldorf's Iridium Mark II. Unfortunately, I couldn't play it properly because the one I was trying to play with was buggy. Let's just say it wasn't working properly. But yeah, and still up for debate on whether it's an improvement on the colour or not. But if you've seen it is covered in some of the other videos covering it, and the additional features do sound all very nice that they've added, and of course more memory and processor power as well. Yeah, this is the I think it has been there before, but it's the first time I've had a chance to play it. Is the GR Mega Granular synthesizer, and again that is an awesome sounding machine. Some people have only played the GR1, which is like the essentially monophonic version, but this is very powerful. And the presets are awesome.
they are nice, but they suffer from that. As much as I like digital stuff, they suffer from the digitalness, for lack of a better term. They're very trebly, thin sounding, and there's artifacts in there and stuff.
Yeah,
which can be good, can be annoying.
Yeah, but if you don't want that, I suspect don't go for a granular synth because it's.
Well, I mean, it depends. Listen to Pigments. Pigments is very smooth.
Yeah.
So not all granular or all that stuff by ApeSoft on the iPad. There are a lot of great granular apps that give you way more control than Pigments does on the iPad. So it doesn't have to be that sound. Plus, they include. The newest one is the GR2 or something like that. They incorporated Pulse Stretch into it, and I love Pulse Stretch, but it's artifacty as hell, and it will make your thing sound very digital. I'm a big Hartman Neuron fan, but that also has crazy artifacts and digital stuff, so you have to love it or not. But sometimes the patches have kind of a thinness to them. The low end kind of disappears,
Yeah. Right. Again, not brand new, but the Solar 42 is, amazing. I was playing that for a little while. You can get some. You can get a bit lost with the knobs, but it can make some. It just says ambient machine. You can get some very, very ambient sounds out of this. That's a lot of oscillators. Right. Yeah. This. Soma have done it again, and they've made this synthesizer that you play by putting metal objects on this grid, and is very, very weird. There is actually a video demo of someone playing it with fidget spinners as well, which it's made it even crazier.
It's like the Enter. The Enter has a lot of weird, like tactile touch stuff with metals and. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm a big fan of the Soma Terra. I would love one of those.
Terra is amazing. I love it. I have to use it more.
Yeah.
And the Lyra 8 is amazing too. So.
Yeah, but this takes the weirdness to an entirely new level. So again, don't know whether this is definitely not a synth for everyone. And the results aren't always completely predictable. So. I'm not sure the range of sounds it can make either. I mean, I was trying it for about 5 minutes, and I got the feeling I was sort of reaching the end of the sort of sounds it could produce. So but I suspect I did get to try the controls at the corners. That's possible. It changes the engine. And
You have to put it on the intersections or anywhere on the box.
The intersections are the points.
Okay, because I see keys sitting on the side, not touching anything. That was just
Yeah, no, those things.
standby.
The things on the side are on standby to move in. Yeah, so basically, the closer things are to the intersection, the more effect they have. So, and things like this thing here actually has a magnets underneath it, so that made some rather interesting sounds that were different to just metal objects. So we can guarantee soon we're going to come up with something unpredictable anyway. Right. Oh yes, just the view from. Love this view of Superbooth. So this is the sort of big sweeping staircase joining the upstairs and downstairs of the main building inside. But you can also see outside here. There's in fact loads of people gathered here because they're actually watching a performance on the stage out here, which is built over water. So that just sort of sums up Superbooth. And the woods in the background there are just full of all the different huts and tents of loads of other exhibitors in, and the hall you can see in the distance outside the windows also got more in. So yeah, things are all over the place. But,
So I thought most of it was the bungalows. Is there a lot in that building?
there's a lot in the building.
Okay.
So a lot of companies are actually in the main building, because originally Superbooth was all in the main building.
Okay.
But say because of COVID they decided to spread out, and then after COVID decided to leave it like that, because it just meant that, because otherwise when it was all in the main building you just couldn't move in the corridors. Just constant gridlock. So this is great because it's just so spread out. But it
Did
does
you ever
mean
go to
that
Music Messe? Have you been to Music Messe before they stopped that?
well, in Frankfurt, yes, I went there once. Yeah.
How would you compare that? It's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Music Messe was just a law unto itself, having like one hall for each type of instrument. So like one hall for drums, one hall for brass.
Kind of like a NAMM show, basically.
Oh yeah, yes,
Yeah.
And the entire site at NAMM was about a mile from end to end. And this actually probably isn't far off that, but you don't need to go out to the when you went into the main entrance of NAMM, the hall they used for the synths was at the far end, unfortunately. So you did have to walk basically almost a mile to get to the synth. So whereas the stuff that's sort of the furthest edges, you don't have to do like every day. You could just do that on one day, for instance. So the Messe was crazy. Yes, I think I worked out that when I did the Messe, because I also went to the music events in the city in the evenings, and I think I worked out that in the course of 4 days I walked a marathon. That was completely mad. But unfortunately, the year I went, most of the synth manufacturers had already pulled out and moved over to Superbooth, so that was a bit of a mistake. So, but it was an experience. Yeah, so that's...
Is Schneider still running the Superbooth, or is
he is? Yes, yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, he's still running it and still always around and chatting to people, and actually gave a talk. Well, Michael, you were there. Do you want to talk about the? You gave the talk?
I was there. Was a panel talk there in the woods with him, where he told about his beginnings with his company and how it all developed, and effectively how the Superbooth became into the being as it is now. Quite interesting.
Yeah, he seems like quite a character. I've never met him, obviously, but his personality comes through the wire very strongly. So
So this is another new event for the new instrument for the show, which is the Bastel kalimba, which is a combination of a kalimba and a looper, and is now I tried to go with this for a few minutes and I really couldn't get my head around it, but I think it will take a little bit longer to sort of get to grips with how this actually works. Because you can have something happening where if you've got like an ARP that says running, you could end up with notes playing and you're trying to play notes that don't then sound. It's like this doesn't make any sense. it's a kalimba, but because it isn't technically a kalimba.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it self-resonating like the other Korg thing is, or is that?
Don't think so.
Okay.
But I wouldn't swear to that because.
So you have to pluck it. You have to pluck the tines to do something.
Well, you pluck the tines, but they're not. They're sensors monitoring those. They don't make the sound themselves.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it's not. It's not. In some ways, it's not technically a kalimba, but yeah, interesting. But some people have tried this and absolutely loved it. And I couldn't get my head around it, but perhaps need to spend longer with it.
Well, Bastel's pretty wild. They made a lot of crazy stuff that came and went. So I have a bunch of
their
stuff.
But I have to say well, I think when I talked last year, I think the Wave Bard from Bastel was one of my 2 favourite products of the show last year. That's a great little machine. Right, let's carry on. Oh yes, the Mimu gloves.
Oh, those are great. I've used those before, but
Yeah,
5-6 years ago.
Yeah, MIDI gloves. So this is again not new, but first time I'd got to try them. So I got to spend some time playing with this and controlling sound using them. And it's after a few minutes you just get the hang of it and of the motions, and it's great fun. But not cheap. These are 2,600 for a pair. So, but they do make you look cool on stage.
I got to work with a developer. She was at SIGGRAPH one year, demoing. It's a graphics show, but they have music tech there too, and it was fun. I got to play with them for a whole hour, and she gave me the tutorial about all the finger shapes to learn like recording and looping and the sweeping motion to like make stuff move through the field spatially, and it was really wicked. They're a lot of money, but they're very cool. The woman who worked with her did a project. I forgot the name of it, but you can make a kid's version of this with a little sensor board and like a mitten, and it will do like a fraction of what this will do because it doesn't have the bend sensors and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's very, very cool though. It's like a nice mix of VR, tech, and audio. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Great fun though. Right. Oh yeah. This is just one of the most insane things. So Yamaha generally had their usual things. They had the montages, they had the MODXs, they had the YC range, and the reface. So all the stuff you expect Yamaha to have, but they also had this, which I've got takes 2 photos to show it all. And this is a knob per function controller that they've made. It's not to sell, obviously, for the montage. So this controller just covers you can see the AN1X engine. So this is the non-FM stuff, and then the next photo is the FM extension. So you can see there, this is the settings for the 8 operators of the FM engine. So this thing is vast, but this is you can sort of see why the montage is not a knob per function keyboard, because this is what you'd actually need to have. So
it also makes the Gelling House controller for the DX7 look like a joke, right? So
yes, yeah. So I'm wondering if it needed to be quite this big. I think they've made it I know they did this for the anniversary.
Yeah, but that's basically. I talked to one of the Steinberg guys over there, and we came to mention that thing, and he told it was a side project of Yamaha, and he called it basically the biggest SysX editor available in hardware. So it's quite interesting, yeah.
Although that guy did make an FS1R controller that was also huge. It was like a one-off. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, so that was, it's not a new product, but it is great fun. I mean, it's anything that sort of, well, it's slightly worrying to say if that's the most interesting thing on the Yamaha stand, but of course they did have all the if you are into the Yamahas, they did have the new versions of the the Montage M and the new version of the MODX range. Right, yeah, so so this is a French company that have basically remade the Oberheim 4-voice. And they've literally remade it for component, so it is very, very accurate. And again, is not going to be cheap. I can't remember how much this is, but
Oh, they even have the concentric pots there, which the original had, and the Oberheim remake doesn't have. The Sam
yeah.
didn't have the
Oh
concentric
yes,
pots.
so it does. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hadn't even noticed that. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, the apparently you can actually, if you've got a real 4-voice and a component goes on it, you can just take the component straight off one of these and put it over, and it would work. You know, it's literally that accurate. So that is a real labour to reproduce that, but there you go. If you really desperately need a 4-voice, I didn't try it, but apparently those who did again say it sounded amazing. I think I've got another photo in the background. You can see the new GS Music Pre-6, which I think we've got a photo of. Oh, yes, here we go, yeah. Yeah, so this is the brand new keyboard from GS Music. So I got to have a play on this. It's great fun, this new keyboard version, because it has sort of an ARP built into it, which works really well. I actually personally prefer the tone of the E7, which is at the other end of the table. You can't see that, which is the their previous module version, because things like it has far more LFOs and things than this one does. But as you know, as analog keyboards go, this is awesome. The tone is brilliant. It's and it's just something a bit, yeah, it's pure analog, and it's great. Don't know if anyone else has used them. There's been a lot of people getting excited about the GS Music in recent years. Lots of very glowing reviews. Yeah, I think I featured this last year, the Instruo Seashell. Here they've got it wired to the new Pocket Scion, which is difficult to describe, but just to put it in context, you can't see it's just off the top of the photo, but this is actually being triggered by a plant. It's actually wired to the leaves of a plant, and that's being used to generate the audio out of this thing, which has a number of different sort of engines within it. Trying to describe it basically makes sort of modular textures, but it's really difficult to describe. But it's it's one of those things where I think if you ask the creators what it actually does, but they might not even be able to explain it. But you can always rely on Instruo to make really interesting, unusual things. So. Because they have had before, like their modular systems be able to run from bio signals to sort of trigger modular sequences and things, but this is basically the same kind of idea but built into one little tiny box. Yeah, this is for those that I know these have been quite popular, the Zoom L6 mixer, but and also can't remember when this came out actually, it's not that long ago, the L6 Max, where they've just basically given more of everything. So if you need small mixers, these are very, very capable. I mean, it's kind of odd because obviously this is out, but and the Korg had released this NTS4, which is a kit mixer, and it probably is a lot. It's cheaper than this, but it is when you just looked at this and then look at that, you think it's got no features at all really by comparison. This is very, very capable little mixer and portable. Yeah, this is the here it is actually the little Korg mixer.
The Phase 8, is that what it's called?
The Phase 8, yeah, which is the product of Korg Berlin. Now is actually a released product, which can actually make sequences out of these times and everything. It's interesting. I mean, it is probably a little expensive I'd probably think it would be fine if it was half the price it is, but it's different anyway. You can say that.
It's fun to play with, but it's not as fun as I thought it was going to be. That first of all, those little strips that you interact with, there's like these little screw things on them to unlock them and slide them around, and it just, I don't know, it just seemed very more fiddly than it needs to be. There should be some like friction in there where you can just constantly move things around and slide them and have to constantly adjust things. And, did have a play with it though, and you can
make some interesting rhythms, use it by tapping different parts of the whole thing. And things. Right. Yeah, so the obviously the groove synthesis third wave, not new, but they did have here the new 8M, which is the cheaper version of the whole thing, which this photo makes it look bigger than it is, which I'd love to have one of these, but I think if I ever did, it would be this one, because it don't have room for the big keyboards. But I did have a playthrough this, and it was just sound gorgeous. It's the fact that you can suddenly jump from it's the way it can suddenly jump from these very, very analog sounding sounds, and then the next sound is PPG patch 19 or something. It's literally waveforms taken straight from the original PPG. So it's very capable, got quite a wide range of what it can do. Yeah. And have you played with that, the groove synthesis machines?
I have off and on. I always wanted to get one because I love the PPG Wave, and I love what they've done with the making it a more modern version. They're just so expensive, you know. These days, especially, I'm strapped for just about anything. So I'm in the cheap zone these days. So all this stuff's way out of my range, but I certainly would like one. I just can't afford it. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the case of all the way through the show. Every time I was seeing something I'd like, it was just like, right, add that to the list. So,
I mean, I was lucky to get a Waldorf XT module, the Blackwave XT, for like $800 a few years ago, used, which is a steal. And this is a hell of a lot more than that. So,
because obviously Behringer made the Wave keyboard, which would be great on its own if it wasn't compared to this. That looks a bit lacking by comparison, but obviously it's a much cheaper option. Better shot of the TR-1000, which I actually got to have a play with, and is when you go through the sort of kits, is incredibly inspiring. Just every kit, you just think, I could write a piece of music to this. But it might be one of the best sounding drum machines ever, but at that price, it should be. Oh yes, here we go. So this is the PWM range. So you may be familiar with the Malevolent and the Mantis. Can't see the Mantis in the shots behind me at this point. But the big news is this. This is actually... but they've used a Mantis case, but this is actually an Oscar. So they're actually remaking the Oscar keyboard,
that's cool.
using as close as they can get to the original components. They've actually had to switch out the processor because they just can't get the original processor in sensible numbers. So
did they say if they started that project before Huggett died?
I believe they did. Yes.
Okay.
So I know that they had just completed the Mantis before he died, but I think they had already been talking about this and had already been looking at the circuits. Cool, but this is did actually have a go on it. So it doesn't it's a little limited so far, but it is the Oscar, and it's one of those things of just like, what great times we live in that these things can exist again. So it's so this is like a little bit of labour of love, but you can see it's early days yet, but it's getting there. It sounds sounds good. And also they've made the now a desktop / rack mount version of the Malevolent as well. You can see it in the background, which was because compared to the Oscar, this didn't get much. People didn't talk about this much, but it's. Just in case you didn't have a little keyboard. Yeah, I was trying to figure out on the video coverage that someone had done. I could just see off the top of the picture what on earth this extension was on top of the Malevolent. There's actually a Moog Mavis for no readily apparent reason. But I think it's just to show there that you can connect the Malevolent to other things. So the Oscar's the big news there. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how this is pronounced. This was a fun little thing. It's a multi-effects unit. The Gintronic, and I'm trying to remember, I think it's transparent. Yes, transparency, which I thought was a. It's not quite transparency, so. Yeah. But yeah, it does sound cool. So it's got two delays, a chorus, and a tremolo, and you can actually decide what you want synced and what you don't want synced, and that kind of thing. So it is quite a capable little multi-effects unit. Again, you can tell from its layout and size that it's designed for performance rather than more than studio work. Right. Oh yeah, so that's just top of my list if I buy any more modular gear is this, which is just a Euclidean engine, and it's a great little module. It's also one of my favourite looking modules. This I had never ever seen before. I've got to have a go on it. The analog, the Analog FX Larynx, and it's a analog synth with the filters are formant filters, and it is a great sounding synth. And one of the really interesting parts is, if you look at the filter, is that it actually has, where you're setting the like resonance and things, it actually has two peaks, so you can actually create resonance at two different peaks in the filter, which is, I don't think I've ever seen before. Yeah, and is very, very unusual sounding. It's different. It's nice to have someone doing something different, but so this is one that's come from nowhere. Yeah, this strange little card thing that's on the top is actually the sort of bend up and down. It's just a bit weird.
I thought it was for sharpening knives or something.
No, that's actually, you press the top one to bend up and the bottom one to bend out. It's a bit
it's their version of proportional pitch controller, basically.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but as a, yeah, it's just nice to have something that just sounds very different. There is a modular version of this as well. I think, no, I haven't got a photo of that. But it doesn't have, unfortunately, the module version doesn't have the sort of sequencer or arpeggiator stuff in there, which is a shame, because that would have been quite fun, because that's quite fun. Yeah. And then this, which I've put in just for being the best named product of the whole show, the dust collector. And I'm not even sure exactly what this thing does, but it's essentially an effects unit, because it's actually got LFOs, tape effects, spring reverb, which you can actually twang the springs with your fingers. And
one of my friends just got one. It's not totally new.
No.
Well, one of the first circuits I built in electronics was a spring reverb, and since that I haven't had the hang after a spring reverb.
Yeah, but for some strange reason, for a spring reverb, tapping the case doesn't seem to do anything, so it's a bit unusual. Right, yeah, and I think this might be the last photo actually. Yeah, this is Korg, saying Korg didn't have any new products. Yeah, they've got their little record player, so there were actually people using this and actually doing sort of like mixing and scratching effects on this little plastic deck. It's one of those things you think, why? But it did look fun and cool while they were doing it, though. I think that's it. Ooh. Oh no, sorry, a couple more. Yeah, some of you might be familiar with the orchid, but to display it, they'd put it in a flower arrangement. It's called the orchid. Don't know why. Yeah, and oh yeah, this is the last photo. And I just took this as I was on the way out. I have absolutely no idea what it is. I believe it's a synthesizer, but it might be one of the craziest looking things at the show. So, like, it's like I don't even know where to start. I have no idea what that is. So yes, slightly bizarre. But there you go. So that is the photos.
Okay. And then for the videos.
Yeah, I haven't sorted my videos yet. I've done quite a lot of videoing, so, but mostly videoing of the event and the things like performances and people and gatherings and things, rather than the individual pieces of equipment.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's talk about the people you met. Was there anyone that you wanted to meet that you met? Let's start with Michael. You haven't said anything for a long time.
No, but I didn't have a set of particular people to meet, but I came about a couple of them. The first basic contact was basically the guy from West Sea Studio. I don't know if anyone of you knows his YouTube channel. He's in the same hotel as I, and I basically met him during breakfast, and so we talked for a short while before he took off with his assistant in order to go around and shoot and do interviews and all the stuff he does basically. Yeah,
Um,
and on Friday it was basically some sort of a little happening from our Cubase Facebook group, a German one, for we have basically in Germany there's some sort of Cubase guru who does all the tutorials, workshops, and so on, and who is basically the authority on Cubase training materials, even for Steinberg. And we had a little meet and greet there and talked for about 2 hours about all kinds of stuff. Just a handful, not even a handful of people, and that was pretty interesting and nice. And yeah, let me think. I talked to one of the Steinberg guys, as I mentioned beforehand, today, which is a member of the Halion development team, actually, who is over there, and as I'm also using Halion for quite some time, we talked about that for a while. So that was pretty interesting. And yeah, I was a little bit not that's not really a particular person, but I wanted to get some infos over at Native Instruments about one of their new releases. But what was a little bit disappointing because there was no one there able to answer the question for quite some time. There was no one there, and the other people didn't seem to know to know the stuff I wanted to ask. So that's what a little bit yeah, strange.
yeah, yeah. And Tim?
Yeah, I don't know where to start. Yes, so as I said, I normally go to Superbooth with quite a gang of people, and mostly sound designers. So we end up with these strange gatherings where we have like a whole. I think the best we got to was 12 sound designers around one table, and every single person there was from a different country, and that was really cool. But this year that group aren't there, so instead I got to spend time with some, getting to know people that I have met briefly before, but haven't spent time with. So I was spending time with people like the guys from Yuhi, with Manny Fernandez, as we've mentioned him, with the guys from Groove Synthesis, and also people from the Bob Moog Foundation, including Michelle Mokusa. Which I'm still trying to get my head around the fact that the daughter of Bob Moog knows who I am. That is just utterly bizarre. And also Dina Perlman as well was there, the daughter of Alan Perlman, who I had met her before. She came over to the. She's been to a couple of events over in the UK. But yes, I got to spend time with her as well. Right, who else? Because I'm quite. The guys from Pro Synth Network as well, Robbie. So it's been a great. Oh, sorry, if I'm a bit boomy, I'll sit back a bit. I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, so it was a lot of people.
Was there any events that you wanted to attend, and you did, of course?
Well, the one that's always fun is today. Is on the last day they do the YouTube fan meetup, where basically all these sort of YouTube presenters gather in the woods, as you do, and all the fans turn up as well, and so you're getting to meet the people that you normally only watch on screens. So all the sort of usual suspects are there. So Sonic State, Florian Pills from Bad Gear, Gaz Williams, Bo Beats, and on and on, and so Starsky Carr, so the couple for Nikki and I can't remember her husband's name from Dots. So quite a lot of people. It's a strange gathering when you have all these sort of people just standing around the woods. And free beer suddenly turned up, which was really nice as well. So it was, that's always a fun event. And also, but then there's all concerts and various things throughout the days as well. I only went to one of the actual sort of little indoor concerts where people are showing off new gear, but there were loads of concerts outside, people performing all sorts of everything from sort of drums to modular gear, and they were really. In fact, it's the most attended I've seen those outside concerts. Normally, it's sort of people are just wandering past and may listen, but it was actually hundreds of people turning out every time anyone was playing, and it was really good.
Okay, Michael, did you attend any events?
A couple of sessions on the various stages, and the Cubase meeting I mentioned before. Basically, but in general, the main parts I attended.
Yeah. Okay. Then, while you were in Berlin, did you visit any shops like Schneider's Laden and such? Michael?
No, Schneider's. I didn't get around to visit Schneider's Laden itself this time, at least, sadly. So I spent the first day, afternoon and evening in the city, but I didn't get around to. With hope to be there next time.
Okay, and Tim?
I actually only flew in on the Wednesday evening, so basically I got straight to my hotel, slept, and then went straight to Superbooth. So I'm actually got a day of sightseeing tomorrow, and I'm actually booked to go to the Synthesizer Museum, which is actually where Schneider's Laden shop was until about 18 months ago. So I'm going there, and not only can you play all the amazing range of synthesizers they have in the museum, but you can actually record it as well. So I'm going to be doing that as if I haven't had enough synths in 3 days. So that'll be quite fun, and may go to another couple of museums as well, because my flight's not till late evening, so theoretically I've got plenty of time tomorrow.
Yeah, I remember when I was there, you were, or I was very tired when I came to the motel after the booth, and I had to edit the videos to upload, and all I could do after that was go to sleep. I was so tired. It was really hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it didn't help, for instance, that I was so tired because on Thursday evening we went out for a meal. It was organised by a couple of guys, and I think, I don't know how many we ended up with at this meal, but I think it was about 30 people in the end, with quite a lot of well-known names there. And at the end, afterwards, a few people were heading off to a bar, and I thought, no, I've got to get back to the hotel room. So I went back to the hotel room, tried to do some stuff on the computer, was so tired, was falling asleep where I sat. So I went to bed, and then my body woke me up at 2 a.m. I was like, I don't believe it. So, yes. So yeah, it is very tiring. I'm not used to all this walking in fresh air and things.
True. Was there anything that went wrong that you were disappointed about, Michael?
Wrong, not in particular. One or two contacts are trying to get some information. One of them I mentioned before, but other than that, I got quite a number of new impressions, some new input, and a couple of interesting talks about all kinds of stuff.
And Tim?
Trying to think. Well, apart from the power situation in the Buchla room, but I think a couple of companies were due to be at the event but had to pull out for reasons. One group was supposed to be performing at Superbooth from Poland, and they actually had been hit by their power cuts had actually ruined their gear, and so they hadn't been able to travel. Obviously, Moog was supposed to be there, and it was believed they were going to be showing these things. So it's a shame that they weren't there. We don't know exactly the reason why yet. So, but hopefully it will become clear. But we just look forward to whatever they are up to.
I think you just moved your PC from the shirt. It's very noisy now. Oh, that's
No. It's still on its shirt. Okay. Oh.
It's better now.
Okay. Right. Perhaps it's like Soma. It's like that thing where you move things on the table and it makes different sounds. It's
Yeah. So what do you expect next year? What will happen next year? The same?
More talking, more walking.
Yeah.
So it's it was. I think it was may have been just the largest number of exhibitors they've ever had. I think it was something like 300 exhibitors, and I think maybe also certainly these last 2 days, one of the biggest attendance they've ever had as well. So the event is growing, which is also I'm very glad about not being in one building, because that would be getting incredibly uncomfortable now. The event will continue growing, I suspect, and so more companies, more new things. I mean, obviously when it started, it was modular. That's what they did, and it's now diversified way beyond that. I actually sort of kind of wish, when I was chatting with Michelle Mokusa, that I actually asked her, I wonder what her dad would have thought about all the directions that music technology has taken, from starting from basically his synth. So that would have been an interesting question. But it's so diverse now, and what's there, and I just think that's just going to keep increasing. And as people one of the things people pointed out is it's not just an exhibition that people are attending; it's a community. Some people were travelling around last year. They were interviewing everyone and asking the question. We were videoing people and said, in one word, what is the best thing about Superbooth? And more than half the responses were the people. And that's really what Superbooth's about. It is an opportunity to come together with like-minded people, and it is, it's the biggest electronic music event in the world. And there is nothing else, quite. Well, we have little local ones, but they're tiny by comparison. So, of course, the one problem is that there's now so much at the event, you still can't see it all in 3 days. So, but obviously, making it longer is just not practical. So, so you just have to sort of. That's why I'm very glad that we have people like Sonic State, etc., covering these events, because we get to see the coverage of all the equipment we don't get to see. Because
yeah. Okay. Andy, do you have anything to say before we wrap it up for this year?
Yeah, one year I got to get my ass to Superbooth. I just don't have the time or the money. So, looks like fun.
Yeah. Skip Japan and Hawaii and all that. Go to Superbooth.
Those are a lot cheaper, though.
Yeah, because the problem is, if you're coming in from the States, you really need to come in at least a couple of days ahead, so you've got a chance to recover a bit before the event.
Well, it's not just that. I've never been to Berlin, so I would be sad just going to an event and leaving. I want to see the city. I want to see museums. I want to go, all that stuff. So
it's a gorgeous
14 days in Berlin.
It's a gorgeous city. There's a lot to see.
I mean, Europe in general. I haven't been at all. I'm trying to go soon, but we'll see what happens. So.
Yeah, I'm just annoyed because every year I try and get to see museums and things in there, and one of the first years I came, I went to a museum and it was brilliant, but half of it was shut for restoration work. And they've since discovered that the building is crumbling, and they're having to basically rebuild the building, which involves moving all the exhibits out. Just moving everything out is going to take 2 years. The complete work to get it back up to full thing is going to take until 2036.
Oh man!
So I won't see that museum again soon.
My goal would be to go to a church where Johann Sebastian Bach used to play the fucking organ and listen to the real organ. That would make me so happy. I love pipe organs. So
yes.
The first synthesizer.
Yeah, you've just got to find the ones that the RAF didn't bomb. So.
Wow, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was great seeing you all. It was great to hear about Superbooth. I wish I was there. Not now, but a few days earlier.
Next year.
Yeah, next year.
Yep.
Next year.
Next year.
Yeah. So we've got we had a few people missing this year, so I'm hoping we're back next year.
Yeah. Usually you live with the
I
ESC
know,
crew.
Yeah. So it's it's a bit weird not having a Airbnb this year and being driven around and actually having to catch trains and things. But
but then
did anyone do a walking tour of the whole event, or is nobody doing that?
A couple of people have. I've already seen it. I haven't watched yet, but I've seen a couple of videos up which are walk-arounds of the whole thing. So
cool. Right.
But the trouble is, I think what most people have done is do that in multiple videos, because it's just to walk around the entire thing would just in one video would be too long. So
yeah, that's the same with NAMM too. I got to break it up because it's just too crazy.
Yeah.
One carpet video and one.
That's right. Yeah.
But because it's in sections, it's quite easy to split up anyway at Superbooth. So.
Yeah, but thanks for being here. I hope to see you again soon, all of you. Michael, it was your first time here. You're welcome.
Thanks for inviting me.
You're
nice
welcome.
to meet you, Michael.
You're welcome. We'll invite you again. Yeah. And thanks to all the chatters. It was good to see you. I'm sorry I couldn't follow all the chat.
Well, most of the chat seem to be about plants.
Yeah, we're talking about plants a lot, so.
Yeah, it's my fault because I was talking about using plants as a source of MIDI source. But
Well, I was telling people I've been using PlantWave for years. It's one of the earlier hardware products out there that also has an app based around it, and it's like the originator of all this stuff, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and they went off into slugs.
I did have
What
some
kind of
more
synth show is this?
Well, we're talking about carnivorous plants and people asking if they would eat slugs, and so
Yeah.
I did have some more topics, but the people who was going to talk about that didn't meet up. So maybe next year.
Yeah.
It was topics.
Yes, grab them next time when they've recovered.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everybody. And Michael, you don't know, but you are welcome to stay after I say goodbye, and we can have a little chat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Thanks all.
Yeah. Thanks
Bye,
all.
buddy.
Bye,
I
everyone.
have to find the outro here, and thank you chatters, and thank you guests, and thank you Superbooth. Hope to see you in the next show. Click like and subscribe.